If I haven't scared you off yet with the footage that I've rolled so far, then I'm so glad you're here. I hope you'll stick around. Welcome to my life under renovation. And as you can guess, today's video is about my disaster and wreck of a garage. So my goal is to make it not that thing. And I'm going to bring you guys along while we get this thing cleared out, get a bunch of things completely out of here, leave the house. We're planning for a yard sale. We're also planning to do a lot of donating, and then organizing, and eventually my goal is to make this garage actually like an extension of the home. So we hear all the time people talking about making their patios, their front porches, their decks an extension of their home, you know, an extra space. And a garage is no different, in my opinion. So my goal is to park in here eventually, and I'd love for this to be like a space that I pull my car into, and it's like a welcome home kind of a vibe. And so that's something that's definitely going to come later. But to get started, it just needs to be a space where you can actually walk through and then eventually park in. So I'm sad and embarrassed to admit, but we've lived at this house for almost 9 years now. I've never once parked in this garage, and neither has my husband. So that's the ultimate goal, is to be able to actually park in the garage. Sad enough to say, but it is. So I'll kind of explain more about how we got to this point as I roll the footage of us emptying the garage and going through things. So more on that to come as this video plays, and I hope you guys will stick around. If you enjoy this, I hope you'll subscribe if you haven't yet, and go ahead and give this video a like, thumbs up, and let's get started. My daughter knew we were recording at this point, but she thought it would be hilarious to wear her bathrobe because she's just kind of a goofball. So we told her, hey, it's way too hot for that. It's like 90 degrees outside. So anyways, in case you're wondering why this cute little girl's wandering around in a bathrobe, she didn't last very long in it, and then she realized mom and dad were right. But anyways, it cracked us up. We did have some method to this madness of unloading all of the contents of our garage. So I would suggest coming up with some sort of a plan if you tackle a big project like this of your own. So we had a donate pile, like these for sure are getting donated. We had this pile needs sorted through, like boxes of items that we didn't want to take the time to sort as we pulled them out of the garage. And then we had everything on the grass was like, these for sure have to come back into the garage. And then we had like a pile of like maybes. We're not really sure what to do. And then we had a garbage pile. So that's kind of the method that we used, but I definitely suggest going into it with a plan, especially if you're working as a team with someone else. Like, make sure everyone knows where things go. Instead of just unloading the garage, you might as well save yourself some time and kind of sort things as you're unloading, versus just kind of dumping everything out into the driveway and the yard. That would have just made for more work at the end for us. So my advice is just to have a plan. You're probably wondering, how in the world did these people even get to this point? We sometimes wonder that ourselves. This garage was a lot. It is a lot. It's full of things. It's overwhelming. That's the biggest, the main word that comes to mind is overwhelming. But I'll kind of start at the beginning. So this is like a multi-step story. So before we purchased this house, we had to do like a simultaneous close on our last house. So we were selling a house and then buying, and we didn't really have a place or a plan to go in between. They needed to happen like simultaneously, which is a huge challenge. It's challenging to do, but we were like determined we're going to make this work. So we had everything worked out. It was lined up perfectly. And then the people buying our old house, there was some sort of a big snag with their financing. So instead of having things, go smooth sailing, they didn't. And so We actually were told, you know, it got pushed back. So we got told by the amazing people that owned this home before that we were buying this home from, hey, if you guys want to, you can move everything into the garage. And so, man, I had spent so much time labeling every single box that we had packed, which room to take it to. I had other labels to put on the doors of the bedrooms. We had a whole team of people lined up to help us, like scheduled to help us do the move. Everything was perfectly orchestrated. And then we ended up, it all got just shuffled and messed up. So they were gracious enough to let us move all of the contents of our old home into the garage, but it didn't all fit. I mean, it was like stacked floor to ceiling. It was packed in there. It was kind of a disaster. And so we got everything into the garage. We ended up getting a horrendous flu, like throw up virus flu. Me, my husband, my twins at our old house. Our washer and dryer were in the garage of this house. We had none of our items. It was just bad. We were still sleeping on like an air mattress in our living room at our old home with massive throw up virus. And when moving day came along, it was exciting, but then we were still sick. We were not feeling well. It was just kind of a disaster of a move. And anyways, so everything had kind of got like frantically shoved into the garage. There was no method to getting in there. It was just get everything into the garage. That was that. And so everything just got shoved in there. So then the unpacking process was delayed. And then we had a really big family tragedy happen. It just kind of pushed everything back even more. Anyways, our garage didn't get fully unpacked and unloaded for probably like a year. I'm not even joking. That may sound dramatic, but honestly, it was terrible. So I'll share a little bit more here in a bit about just some of the other things that have happened that have prevented us from keeping this garage, getting it cleaned out, and then keeping it that way. Stay tuned for more. I know I got carried away with explaining our disaster of a move-in process, but I just wanted to acknowledge I clearly have a spray paint problem. Did you see all that paint I unloaded off of that shelf? Oh my word. Hopefully this, having it on a more open shelf will alleviate me going out and purchasing All right, we've been at it for a lot of hours now, and it's the evening, and so I thought I'd show you guys kind of what we've done. So obviously these are all the things that need to go back into the garage. This is garbage, it's going to the dump, but it's just sitting there for now. So these are things that I'm going to put in my car to take to Goodwill, and then this stack of things here, this is all stuff that I still need to sort through. Some will go in our yard sale, some will donate. Some are things that I will keep that are like special memory kinds of things. This right here is all stuff that's going to the dump. Not these shelves back here. Those are staying. But check this out, you guys. We actually made some pretty sweet progress today. Huh, babe?
Oh, yeah.
Chase has had the time of his life. So these are all things that we're going to list probably on the Buy Nothing page from Facebook that I've mentioned lots of times. And then we actually went through and organized. So these two things, I need to sort through those two. But these things have all been gone through, organized. I'll back up here so you can see. But it's a full wall of shelving. So we really do have like a great space in here. A lot of good vertical space. So we plan to install some of that overhead like storage things, the metal racks that hang down that you can put totes into. But ideally we wouldn't have enough stuff to be needing those, so that's kind of the ultimate goal. We'll see where we land. But here, sorry, I'm clearing my throat. Here along this space here, we found a perfect cabinet. It's like a big, it's got doors that open on both sides. So I'm gonna paint this because, like I mentioned, I want this to be like a welcoming, like welcome home space when I eventually park my car in here. So I'm gonna paint this so it looks nicer, paint the door a different color, Put a cute little welcome decal on there. That's kind of my vision. Paint the wooden stairs. They're all stained and yucky. Maybe even get like a fridge wrap. I don't know if you guys have seen those, but they're so cool and so cute. So like these food items here, these typically are just like stored right here on the floor next to the fridge, but our hope and our plan is to put them in the cabinet that we'll be getting to put right here. And then I'll show you guys back here what we did with some of Chase's tools. So he had like his tool cart was just sitting like right here when you came out of the stairs, just kind of in a almost random spot. But it's over here now. And then this is my old shelf from when I was a kid actually, but it's like so heavy duty and sturdy. So purple is not necessarily Chase's color next to his tools, but we're gonna paint the inside of these black. He's gonna use that for his own tool storage, all of his man stuff. We moved this shelf over here, and it's pretty much empty, which is awesome. It's the one that was right here next to this door. This is the, I don't know if you guys actually saw this on any of the video footage. This is what leads to our backyard. We've stuck a few things out here that we'll be bringing back in, but for now it's there. So this wall over here, this one we still have some work to do on it. I need to sort through these two totes. We've got golf clubs, chairs for when we go to events and outings and stuff. These child gates, we don't really need those anymore, so we'll probably get rid of those. These are posts and beams for our pergola that my husband's going to build, but he's been waiting to have all of this space free in the garage to be able to actually like stain all of these posts and beams. So that's what those are doing there. Some more random stuff we need to go through. This is for the dump. He's got plans for storage for all of like the yard tools, fun stuff like that. So now we're exhausted and tired, and it's so hot right now here, but we have to bring all of these things back in because the day that we're filming this is actually the 4th of July. So the dump is closed, so we can't make the dump run, but I don't know, we might load it up in the back of Chase's truck and have it ready to go. But for now, we're going to bring everything back into the garage, and then eventually it's going to be beautiful. I can see it now. All right, let's get back to work and get everything put back in here in the most organized fashion possible. All right, let's do it. I thought I would use the rest of this time, or at least part of it, to just explain the rest of kind of why our garage looks this way. So, you know, in addition to the crazy disaster of a move-in that we had, we've had multiple like elderly family members pass away over the years, and they've gifted me, you know, passed along to me multiple sets of dishes that were special to them. And so I love that. It's super meaningful. It's special. It's an honor to have those things, but it's a ton, and I don't know where to put all of it. We have multiple boxes of dishes, and they just pretty much stay boxed up because we're just at a phase in our lives where we don't really unload, you know, dishes. I'd like to start doing that for at least for holidays, but you feel guilty getting rid of things, but then you don't really have the space to store them. And then my husband and I are both like very into like DIY kinds of things. So we've got projects like that. And we have 3 kids and all their stuff. So it just adds up over the years. Okay, that concludes video number 1 of my hoarders edition of our garage. And all jokes set aside, I hope you guys can see the huge difference in here. There's blank floor space behind me. That's like unheard of in this garage. It's happened a few times. I'm determined this is going to be absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to show you that video in part 2. So I originally had really hoped to be able to show you guys a, you know, beginning of this like horrible disaster of a garage, and then the end, showing it beautified and just amazing and fabulous and spectacular. But I also feel like that's not very realistic, and I'm just trying to be real here. We're busy parents of 3 kids, and we don't really have time to do that, to be totally honest. So we have a lot going on in our lives right now. It's summertime. We want to make sure we save some time for fun too, and just don't do work all the time. So I figured breaking it up into 1 part and then a 2-part would be the best. So that's my plan. But I really do hope you guys notice the massive amount that of change we that we had happen in here. I feel like it looks much better. It's, some people are probably thinking, oh my gosh, lady, you're crazy. But if you watched my intro, then you will understand what I'm talking about. It was bad and it's still not great, but we got all of these shelves organized. We actually purged a ton of stuff, which is the best. That's the best part. So you probably saw me set up this camp table here in the background. I figured I'd set that up so that I can come out here and do some purging and some sorting in like the early morning hours and the late night hours, because it is hot. It's like 96 degrees here today. So it feels even more like it's just humid and stuffy inside the garage. And so I'm hoping that having that table set up will encourage me to come out here and go through these things. A lot of those are my childhood items, and so those are tough for me to go through too. I'm a very like nostalgic and sentimental kind of a person, and so I have a hard time letting go of those things. So I may need to pace myself, and having this table in here will allow me to sort at my own pace. So I plan to put some paint, I'll turn around here, some paint on this wall here behind me and get that looking all pretty and beautiful. I'm going to paint the door, paint the stairs, and I've got a couple other, I need to like scrub the garage floor. And so I'll bring you guys along in part 2 as I do some sorting, some beautifying, and I can't wait for that. I really hope that this kind of hoarder's edition of my nasty, disgusting garage, I hope it at least kind of gave you some inspiration and some motivation to get started on maybe a project you've been putting off, because that's definitely been what this garage has been for us. It's just it's overwhelming, to be honest. That's what it is. That's the best word to use. So if I inspired even one person, I'll call it a win. And I can't wait to bring you guys back for part 2. So hopefully here in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll have that completed and up for you. Don't forget to subscribe and then hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss it. And my next video is going to be a really fun makeover video. I can't wait. I've been just so excited about it. So I hope you guys will be back for that one too. And until then, go work on a couple projects you've been putting off, get some decluttering done. If you have a garage like mine, go to start tackling it. You can do it. And thank you guys. I really do appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos, and I can't wait to see you again next time for some more fun. Thanks for hanging out here at My Life Under Renovation. Bye guys.